Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about method overloading in Java. We'll go to Eclipse and practically try to understand how it works. Okay, let's create a new Java project, method overloading. Finish. Inside it, let's create a new class, calculator main. We can select the main function also here. Finish. And we can create a new class here called calculator. Okay, let's write down a question. Define a method called sum that takes two int parameters and returns their sum. Okay, so we have to create a function called sum. So public int sum, int is the return type because we are going to add two integers. The resultant will be an integer that we have to return back, a comma int b. Okay, so what to do here? Either you can do it in one line or else you can do int total equal a plus b semicolon, and we are going to return total. Either you do it like this or you may also do it in one line like return a plus b. You can do that. Okay, now we have defined the method, so we can write method definition. This is method definition. A, b are called parameters. So whatever the user will pass into the method when he calls it, that will come to a and b respectively, and we are going to utilize it. So we have defined the method. Now let's talk about method overloading. What is method overloading, by the way? Same method name having different parameter list. Okay, so the method name will be the same and the parameter list will be different. Means what? The number of parameters or the nature of the parameters may be different. Nature of the parameters may be different. Okay, so let's create a overloaded method. Now we will have to have the same method name, but the parameter list will be different. Let's try the number of parameters different first. It will be same public int sum bracket int a comma int b comma int c. Here the number of parameters are different, so we can do it in one line, return a plus b plus c semicolon. Okay, here this is an overloaded method where the number of parameters has changed. Okay, nature of the parameters different. Let's try public int sum bracket int a comma double b. Here the nature of the parameters is different. One is int, one is double. So what to do here? When we add a int with a double, we get a double value. Double c equals a plus b semicolon, and we have to return it in the form of an int. So we have to convert it into int. Int total equal type conversion. We have to convert the double into an int like this, int in a bracket and c. This is called typecasting. Now we have to return the int value, return total. Got it? So we have int sum having two parameters, int sum having three int parameters, where the number of parameters are changing. Here the nature of the parameters are changing. So let's call these functions from the main. To call it, we have to create an object calculator c equals new calculator. We want to call the first function c dot sum, where we have to pass two int values 10 comma 20 semicolon. So whenever we call a function, we have to see what it is returning. In this case, the sum function is returning an int. So we have to have a int type of variable in the left hand side of this function call. So here look, this 10 and 20 which you are passing are called arguments. Overall this is called method call, and 10 and 20 are called arguments. So when you call the method, the value which you pass are called arguments. This 10 and 20 are called arguments, and while defining the method, the variables within the parenthesis, these are called parameters. So let's do a system.out.println. The sum is plus result. So this is calling the first function. If you want to call the second function, let's do it. Again, c.sum, and we want to pass three values here, 30, and the sum is result. Let's try to run this. The first function call having two arguments, the second call having three arguments. Okay, we want to call the last one. Let's do it again. So we want to pass what? One int, one double, 22.5, and we are going to sum it up. Let's run it, 32. So this is all about function overloading. Here the return type which we have used int, Somebody may say, like, should we always have the return type same and the function name same? No, it's not like that. The number or the nature of the parameters should be different. So let's see, if you want to change the return type also, that's possible. Like double here, and sum is fine, but the parameter list has to be different. Let's reverse this one, double A comma int b, and we are going to return the result, right? So we don't need to type convert it. We are directly going to return the double value, return C here, semicolon. Look, so method overloading doesn't say that you will have to have the same return type. You can have different return type, no problem, but the parameter list has to be different. Interview question can be like this. They may ask you, like, in function overloading, method overloading, the function name should be the same and the return type should be the same, true or false? No, the return type can be different, but the parameter list has to be different. Let's try to call this last function. Okay, let's do it. C.sum, and we have to pass a double and an int 10.5 comma integer 35. Okay, it cannot be stored in an int variable, so we have to convert it into a double result 1 equal this thing, because this last sum function is returning back a double value. So this is result 1. Let's save it and run it. See, we got the last function executed. It's a double that is being returned. Okay. So this is also called early binding. This function overloading which we are seeing is also called early binding. Early binding means the compiler is deciding during compile time itself which function to call. In this case, the last one here, the last method is getting called. This last method is getting called because it is trying to match the parameters and the arguments. The first one is a double and the second one is an int, so it matches this function and it calls this function. So it is called early binding because it is happening during compile time. Okay, this is all about method overloading. We'll discuss about a new topic in the next video. Thank you.